The 29-gallon aquarium that my neighbor gave me years ago is no more. It sprang a leak and I had to break it down, and I put all the shrimp and plants, most of the plants and all of the substrate and driftwood, into this 10-gallon aquarium. And as you can see, it has an old style reflector light aquarium hood. The bulbs are compact fluorescent bulbs rather than incandescent, but the reflector light hood has a small window, so the light is somewhat shut off, a bit reduced, and the compact fluorescent bulbs are, the temperature of the bulbs is probably about 2700, 2500. Ideally they should be above 5000 to have a nice blue color. But overall, I kind of like the look of this tank. The shrimp seem right happy, and it makes me feel somewhat nostalgic of the 10 gallons I kept in the 80s. This is a close-up of the tank with the compact fluorescent bulbs. It may not be the most aesthetic color temperature for the aquarium, but overall I think the tank looks better with the old style reflector light on the hood rather than the LEDs. At a later time I may get a glass canopy to replace the old hood, and then overall the tank should be more aesthetically pleasing. Here's what the tank looks like with the smallest Nycrew LED light. This light is meant for a 5-gallon tank, but the spread of the LEDs is basically as wide as the window for the hood. But as you can see, the temperature of the light is 6500, so that has a much bluer tint. Here's the 6-watt LED. Here's what the tank looks like with the 11-watt LED. This LED is made to fit a 10-gallon. Doesn't quite fit the hood, but it sits there. Just have to be careful not to knock it off. Here's a close-up of the tank with the 11-watt LED. Here's a close look at the shrimp. Down in this corner I usually offer them blanched foods and green beans. Also some fluval bug bites, algae wafers, that type of thing. And up here you can see that the shrimp crawl all through the Java moss and tend to rid it of algae. There's an ornament I just started, piece of Mopani driftwood. I tied some jaw moss to that. After a while it'll begin to grow and look nicer. Had some trouble planting the water wisteria, but eventually they'll begin to right themselves and grow nice and tall. Then I can cut them in half and replant them. Propagates very easily. I'm not very optimistic about catching this on camera because I can barely see it with the naked eye. But I noticed one white cloud mountain minnow fry in the bedroom tank this evening. So I caught it with a brine shrimp net and put it in the shrimp tank. And I have vinegar eels on hand, so I added them to the tank, and it does appear to be going for them, so I'm very pleased. Hopefully it'll survive long enough. It'll grow large enough to eat brine shrimp nauply, and after that it should be viable. And of course I'll have to remove it from this tank before it grows large enough to consume the shrimplets.